आमदनी से कभी कोई धनी नहीं बनता है. This is a very famous Hindi saying, and it basically means that just an income can't make you wealthy. You need assets to be wealthy. An income can probably make you rich, but not wealthy, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to talk about the very fascinating and glamorous topic, financial freedom. And this word is all across the internet. You can see it on Instagram Reels, on YouTube videos, just like you're doing right now. And you can find different definitions for this. But what is it actually like to be financially free, and how do we actually become financially free? How do we know how much do we need to be financially free? All those calculations, because I believe numbers don't lie, right? So we're gonna play around with numbers and understand this concept very easily. So basically, as I said, आमदनी से कभी कोई धनी नहीं बनता है. So the point is, when you're earning something, or if not right now, I'm very sure you'll earn in the future, hopefully very soon, or maybe you're earning right now as well. Everyone who's watching. So whenever we earn an amount, that's our income, right? But if we spend all of our income, or if we overspend, then of course we are tied up in that we are just in that life, because somehow you can't take a break out of that. Because let's say your expense is 10k and you're just making 10k, or even probably lesser than that, then how would you survive, right? Because if you work, you get that salary and you pay off your expenses. But if you want to take a break, or if you don't feel like working, or you want to plan for your retirement, then you can't do that. Why? Because you don't have a sum that will take care of your needs when you retire, or when you want to be financially free, or XYZ, whatever it is. So the basic meaning of financial freedom is that you build such an amount of asset that could pay off for your lifestyle even while you're not working. So basically, your passive income, which is the income from your assets, is more than your active income, right? So how do you do that? It definitely takes a lot of time. It maybe even takes a whole career to build those assets. But definitely, if you start investing earlier and you invest more, then you can do it way faster. But now, how do we know how much do we need, right? That's the very basic question, because someone is earning 10k a month, someone is earning 50k, a lakh, 5 lakh, a crore, on and on and on. Someone is earning more, someone is earning less, right? And someone has more expenses, someone has less expenses as well. Because maybe that 10k guy just has an expense of 2k, so he's just spending 20% and he's saving 80%. That's really good for him. We might call him financially free, or maybe in the future. But on the other hand, the one who's making a crore rupees, we don't know how many overhead expenses does he have, how many liabilities does he have, and how many debts does he have, and maybe his expenses are way more than a crore as well. So even after making a crore, he's not financially free, right? So then what's the formula behind it? What's the number game? Now, we have a rule, a very basic rule known as the rule of 15. And though this rule is modified to rule of 25 because of some calculation differences between India and the foreign countries, because of, I think, interest rates and also the returns made. Because here in India, we can get, I think, 6 to 7% on government bonds as well, on fixed bonds as well, right? But if in foreign countries, that's not the case. You get very less amounts. But anyways, we are a growing country, we can have this benefit. So now, what does this rule say? Rule of 15. As you can say, 15 is a number, so we need 15 times more. That's what it says. So we need 15 times the annual expense. We need such a sum that covers 15 times our annual expenses, means an yearly expense. So now, let's take for example, your yearly expense is a lakh rupees, okay? 1 lakh rupees is your every year's expense. Now, how much do you need according to the rule? You need 15 lakhs. And why do you need 15 lakhs? Well, it says that if you have those 15 lakhs as a nice sum which is invested somewhere, which generates you some returns, and it is safe and it is liquid, considering that, you could be financially free. Okay, now let's see how. Your 1 year's expense was annually 1 lakh, and now you have 15 lakh in the bank. As I said, you can easily make 8% returns. In fact, if you're investing in equities, then people are making even higher returns. But let's take, for example, you make 8% because you don't want to risk too much, right? Now, how much is 8% of 15 lakh? 10% is 1.5 lakh, so 8% would be, I think, roughly 30,000 less, so 1.2 lakh rupees if I'm not wrong. So now if you see, your annual expense was 1 lakh rupees, and now the returns earned, or the income or the profits earned from the investments, is 1.2 lakh rupees. So this is more than the expense, and every year you're going to do that, and then you can have that money and then pay off your expenses. This is how it works, A and B, let's say. But it's so fascinating because somehow if you just build that 15x, though it's not definitely easy, you have to chip in very smaller amounts to build that much. It might take a long period of time, but still it's not that tough as well, because if you're saving 20%, 30% and investing that every single month, I think you can do it very soon, right? Considering the fact that you start investing early and you invest consistently. Now the point still is that, let's say maybe for a year you're not able to generate the returns, then what do you do? So that's why we assume that we should create a portfolio which is kind of safer. Even if it's providing lesser return, it should be safer and it should be more of fixed income instruments. Because if you're investing in equities, I'm talking about the rule of 15 thing, right? Because otherwise equities is wonderful, right? But the only issue is that it is volatile. So if you really are neck to neck and you are just break even all the time, you can't play it so risky. Either you have an emergency fund or some amount in the savings or something, so that even if a year doesn't give you a lot of returns, you can still pay off your expenses. But if that's not the case, then you could go for fixed income instruments, which means that those instruments will provide you lesser returns, but at any cost. They'll give you fixed returns. So if 6% is the return, you'll get it every single year. If 8% is there, you'll get it every single year, right? But that's the difference between actually growth oriented instruments and fixed instruments. But yeah, that's a whole new topic which we'll talk about later. But I hope you got an idea about what is actually financial freedom and how can you be financially free, right? Because now you can calculate it as per your needs as well. Let's take another example for you. Let's take your annual expense is 10 lakh rupees, right? If you're living in a city like Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, maybe 10 lakh annually is your expense. That's not a big deal, because when you're running a family, this is very much possible. A lakh rupees a month or even lesser than that, right? Many people would have that much expense, I believe. Now 10 lakh a month into 15 again, that's how much? 1.5 crore rupees. Now 1.5 crore rupees, 8%, how much is that again? The point is that again you got 12 lakh rupees as profits earned. Now 12 lakh is more than 10 lakh, which is your annual expense. So it will come around like this only. But again, these are the approximate figures. Please consult your financial advisors and please take decisions accordingly. But yeah, this does work when you go in consistently and you go in with a long-term vision and very safely. Start investing early. So yeah, we do get the benefits of starting investing early. But yes, there is some discipline, there is some price to be paid. So yes, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is my first video on this new YouTube channel. It is Rise with Raj. So basically, we're all gonna try and rise together. And it's not just gonna be about investments, but about general life as well. Life lessons, maybe some investment topics, some finance topics, etc. etc. We'll cover a lot, but the main focus would be personal development. So basically, we're just gonna learn. Whatever would be there would be for learning, right? So let's learn together and let's reach the top. Good luck, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe as well. Thank you.